What's up, traders? Welcome back to another video. So we're just going to jump into the charts right now. We're on US30 today. We've got something lining up. So hopefully we can grab some pips and get this thing moving. Let's go. Alright guys, so I have entered the trade. I haven't drawn it in or anything yet. I've just entered it on this computer here, which is my trading PC now. This strategy, I'm going to make a full breakdown of this strategy very soon. It's one I've been working on with the volume profile tool, which I've been using for a long time, but now I've been starting to use it slightly differently. I still use it for confluences and other settings, but this strategy has been working wonderfully. I've just got back from holiday and I've been trading this all holiday and it's been fantastic. Basically, what we're looking for is this little void of volume here after a large push up to the upside. Now this is a US30, we're on the 5-minute chart, and if we have a look and zoom out here, I've got my session volume here, which I use for a few little bits and bobs. Normally I turn it on and off depending on what's happening, but today we're going to keep it on, but just ignore that for the moment. So we've got the Asia range here moving up, then we've come down, we've had our little London session here, and now price is moving to the upside. Now if I go to a higher time frame, like the 4 hour, we can see that we've got a bit of bullish momentum going on here. And then if I go to the daily also, we've had this big bullish move. The daily candles recently just flipped bullish, which is a good sign. And then if I go to the hour chart, we can see that we've got a nice breaking close above the Asia range here, and we're looking for price really to continue to the upside. Now I am going to turn this off just to clean things up a bit. There we go. So we can see that we've got this, and I'll get rid of this for a second, got this big move up. Okay, we've obviously got a nice bullish move here. This is a demand zone down the bottom here, but this area here of low volume is usually where price wants to be protected. So if we get this out, we can see that we've got a large volume cluster down here. Clearly this volume cluster has been bullish because price has moved up big. So now we're looking for price to basically hold this area, or at least hold this area, and then price can push up. So our trade looks a little something like this. I got on the close of this candle here, and I'm going to bring my stop loss just below the volume cluster here, and then we're going to go for a 1 to 1.5. Okay, and then that is going to be our trade for today. Now we may have a little bit of a push down, come down into the 0.618. Okay, we have still got a bit of a fair value gap here to fill, but in my experience, sometimes if the volume is here, this is where price rebounds from, and if you've followed my Instagram, you may have seen a few examples of that over the last couple of weeks. So that's it really. Another nice little confluence, although I don't use it a lot. We are above a moving average. Okay, this is a 200 moving average. I don't really use it that much. I have it drawn in just as a little idea and a little bit of a filter, but I don't use it as any sort of gospel. Now you can see we had a nice reaction off this area already, but obviously we need a lot more. So I'm going to come back in a bit with an update, and I will show you how it goes. So I've been out this morning. I was out taking my wife to work, and I haven't had a chance to look at the charts completely apart from the trade we're in currently on US30. But I missed this absolute belter on oil. Now this is the perfect situation for this strategy. We've got our big impulse here. Okay, we're breaking out the top of the Asia range. Doesn't really matter about breaking out the top of the Asia range, but it just gives a little bit of indication that we are looking for price to push up today, as we have been bearish since Friday on oil. And we've got this move up here, so it looks similar to what we were doing on US30. And then we're looking for our low volume zone. So we've got one here, and then we've got one here, where there's literally zero volume, right? This is probably the lowest volume you can have. It can disappear, but it's basically as low as it can go. And in fact, this area is lower than this area. The other good thing about this is that we're below the 50% Fibonacci. So from the low to the high, we're below the halfway point, and this is the discount area. Okay, this is the area, the best area for us to take a trade underneath the 50 if we're looking for a buy, because that's going to give us, one, more probability of us changing direction, and two, it's just a better area, a better entry point as well. So the trade would be as simple as this. We've seen this big push up, okay, and we would wait for price to come down to this area, and I would enter right on the 50 here. Okay, put my stop loss. I'd probably manage my stop loss on this one, either put it below here or just below this point, this high volume cluster here, and then look for a 1 to 1.5, which we would have smashed pretty easily, and it's about there. Price coming down, going into this fair value gap, this void of volume, it being protected, it see got filled in here, and then volume just came in and completely shot up. Now that would have been a wonderful trade, and we're done. But unfortunately, I missed that one, and now we're in the US30 trade. So let's have a look at how that's going. Still about much the same, but we'll just have to wait and be patient and see if we can get our continue to the upside today. Back in a bit. Alright, so it's been about half an hour or so, and we're now having a nice push up into some profit. We had a little bit of a dance around the Fibonacci's there, but now we are pushing up. I was just looking at the other indices. They are all looking bullish, as they usually are. They're quite correlated, although US30 is definitely the least correlated between the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, I've noticed. But overall, you know, they're a growing asset depending on economic situation. So hopefully we can keep pushing up here. So I'll come back with an update. I may manage to trade at the top here, and maybe take a first TP, or I may let it run to full TP. I haven't decided yet, but I will decide and look at price when we get there. So I'll be back in a bit. So we've got to our first TP, although I'm not going to actually take any profit here. I'm going to let the whole position run to our full TP up here at 44576. One of the reasons why I'm not taking this for full TP is that we've got one of our favorite setups here. Now, if you've been a member of the channel for a while, you'll know what this setup is, but we've got a big bullish move, a bearish indecision candle, where we tried to push down, but we closed with a large bottom wick. We then respected the low, broke out the high, and that can tend to mean continuation. Okay, and that is a good sign. We've also got this 1 hour mark up here, which is basically where we're targeting. Look for price to continue up to there. The 30 minute is looking really nice with this nice U-shaped movement up to the upside. We've got 8 minutes left on this candle. Of course, anything can happen. We can still lose this trade, but I feel pretty confident that we can keep moving up. So that's why I'm going to stay in this for the long run. So come back with another update when we have one. So interesting stuff that's happened recently. We went up to our first TP, which I was potentially going to take, depending on how I felt. I didn't, and if I had, basically what would have happened here is I would have taken 80% of the profit, and I would have brought my stop loss to break even, and then let the rest sort of run for the rest of the day. But that would have come straight down, and we would have got stopped out at break even there, with still not a bad return of that amount. But I did really think that we can keep pushing up to our full TP. So after we came down, I was having a little watch of price action, very happy with how things were going. We're still in an upward trend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low now, new higher high. And we're looking for price to come up into this big supply zone to the left here. So all is looking well. Trade is still completely open, haven't moved stop losses or anything like that just yet. I may bring it to break even shortly, because if we do come back down and break down here, then there is a chance we're going to continue to the downside. But so far so good. Looking at the higher time frames, you can see we've still got that really nice bullish momentum coming. And I'm looking to target this area up here basically. So if we can tag up to that area, that would be fantastic. And it is currently here, it's 12 minutes past 12, so we're not quite into New York yet. Ideally probably want to get this closed. If we can get this closed out before New York, that would be good. We haven't got any high pressure news today, but there is always volatility at that New York open, and that could either work in our favor or not. But if we can get this closed out beforehand, then that would be great, and then we could potentially look for new opportunities when New York comes. So yeah, looking good. Very annoying, I just realised that my microphone wasn't down, so I just recorded a whole piece to finish off the video with no sound. But as you can see, we have hit our full TP. I don't know if the last clip had sound either, so sorry if it's just jumped to here. But we have, as I say, completed our full TP, and it was the right decision to do today to hold on to that trade and get to our final point. And yeah, very happy with that. Now this strategy is the one I've been using for a long time. It's the one I've been creating over the last, I don't know how long, just working on it, just figuring it out, and it's been showing really good results. If you followed us on Instagram, I was away last week, and you would have seen me post a lot of trades using the strategy on my stories. So if you want to go check out our stories, I post a lot on there. Go follow us on Instagram. The handle is down below. And yeah, I will make an in-depth video on the strategy, which will really go into everything that you need to understand it and use it. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I'm babbling on now. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And yeah, there's plenty more videos coming. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.